Oh man, crashing sucks, doesn't it? It hurts. It means you've probably got to, if it's that bad, stop riding for a little while. I've had so many crashes and it hurts, man, but I think it's what helps keep mountain biking really exciting, isn't it? That fear of kind of being on the edge and that risk and, you know, get it wrong, and I get it wrong all the time and you fall off and yeah, it hurts. Did my wrist, I've done like elbows and knees and shins and like, it's bloody annoying, but there's so much stuff that you can get that helps you. Now, all of this stuff I'm going to talk through is stuff that I've bought myself and tested. There are trade-offs, so there's some pros and cons to each one of them, and I'm going to go through it. And we'll start with like the most basic form of protection, which is a bike helmet, kind of the thing that most people wear all the time. So the most basic form of helmet is going to be like a regular trail helmet, and they just, you know, protect your head, pretty obvious, but you don't get any lower down protection. But the benefits are they're super light and really comfortable and keep you cool when it's really, really hot. Downside is if you're on a slightly more gnarlier ride or a ride that's got risk of more rocks and that kind of stuff, and you falling off and taking an impact, you can damage your face. So let me talk you through. These are all bike helmets that I own and have worn and would recommend for different situations. So first of all, I've been wearing the Fox Flux, or more recently the Specialized Ambush, this is called, which is a super lightweight trail helmet, and it's got MIPS, which protects the head from rotational forces if you do crash. And they're really lightweight and they are comfortable, and they've got most of them, not just this one, but the Fox one as well, has got a little rotational thing at the back that you can adjust, and you can get a really nice fit with them. The benefits are you just barely even notice that you're wearing them, and they're within the hundreds of grams rather than into the kilograms, which are the bigger ones that we'll come on to in a bit. And I wear this anytime I'm on a regular trail ride, or I know that the risk of significant injuries to the face are going to be more unlikely. That being said, on any ride you can come off, and who knows, I actually got a black eye from falling off riding on a road when I hit my face on a side of a curb. So, you know, you can hurt yourself anywhere. But if you want to move it up a step, the next one I've been wearing is the Fox drop frame. What I like about this is you get protection lower down here. And according to Fox anyway, I don't know how true this is, but they say the majority of injuries when you fall off a mountain bike on the head are impacts to the head and lower down here to the side of the head. I don't know how true that is, or whether it's just a style thing, but I kind of like this helmet. It gives me the feeling that I'm a little bit more protected than just wearing the trail-based helmet. And again, it's pretty lightweight. Doesn't have MIPS, this one, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's got real good airflow. And this really I would wear on a trail ride, but if I know I'm going out and I might be pushing it a little bit more, I'm gonna put this on because it's got this extra, I just feel a little bit safer wearing one of these. Still, I would say trail / like enduro style helmet this is. And it looks pretty cool. It looks a bit different. Some people like the look, some people don't like the look. Let me know what you think. So moving it up to the next level would be a full face. And this is the Fox Pro Frame. Full face, pretty lightweight. It's got MIPS inside and pretty big chin bar on this one. This isn't like a full-on downhill helmet. It's not quite as hardy as that, but it feels nice to wear because it's pretty lightweight and it's fairly comfortable. When you start wearing a full face, it starts to shut your vision down a little bit because you've got the peak and you've got the chin bar that you can see, but the aperture on this one is fairly wide. I don't wear this one so much, and I think it's because if I'm wearing a full face, I'm normally at like a bike park or something, and that's when something a bit burlier comes into play, like this. This is a proper downhill rated helmet. The thing with these are they start to get pretty heavy. Like this is significantly heavier if we look at this compared to the Pro Frame or like a trail-based helmet. But the benefits are it's full on, man. It's like, you know, it feels like you're wearing a motorbike helmet when you're wearing this one, and it feels like you're really protected. Doesn't have as much airflow. It is a little bit hotter inside. Again, that vision, you can see here, because you've got this peak and this kind of chin bar just going around, your vision feels a little bit more restricted, especially when you would wear this normally with goggles. But this is the Troy Lee D3. I know they've just brought out a D4, which looks like it's, actually that looks really light. They've got that under 1 kilo, which is pretty cool. But these are the helmets that I would wear, and I'll choose it based on the type of ride that we're gonna do. So trail riding, right up to downhill bike park, something like this. In fact, a lot of places or a lot of events that you might enter might need a proper downhill rated helmet. So something like this is gonna be good for that. So that's the head. What else? Well, the next thing I wear is knee pads. And I've got loads of different sets of knee pads that I've tried, and some of them are like super comfortable and some just kind of slide around a little bit. So knee pads are very personal in terms of the fit and the amount of protection, and the bigger the knee pad, the more protection it's going to give you, but the potentially less comfortable it's going to be. The thing with knee pads is the fit is super important. So if you're buying it from a bike shop, it's good because you can go and try it on. But if you're ordering it online, I've had loads where I've got them sent through and received them and I've had to send them back. My favorite knee pad right now is this Ion K-pact zip knee pad. It's pretty lightweight and pretty comfortable. They just fit me really well. They're pretty lightweight, but they've got enough protection at the front and the side. So when you do go down, you've got that side bit protected there. And normally if I fall off, I tend to hit my leg on the side of the bike. Normally it kind of smacks into the frame. And I like the fact that they've got these little side protectors here. But one of my favorite things about these is when you finish the ride, you can just unzip them. You see here? And you can just take them off. You don't need to take your shoes off. And I know that seems really insignificant, but it's so nice not to have to undo your shoes and take your knee pads off and then put your shoes back on. These are cool. K-pact Ion Zip, I bought them online and they're pretty cool. So if we take these knee pads a step further, something like these are the IXS cleavers, I think they're called, and they're pretty massive and they're almost like full-on downhill style. But what I loved about these is the shin protection. And when I'm on flats, these offer such good protection from your shins, because if you're using like Nuke-Proof Horizon pedals with the pins, those are little daggers and they just want to stab you in the shin. And this, you can see with all of the marks that are on there, all of those knee or shin strikes that I've avoided wearing these. I don't wear these very often because they are pretty big, and although they are quite comfortable, certainly in the summer they get really hot. I wore these at the Mega Avalanche, and sometimes if I'm going to a bike park I'll wear these. But since I've been clipped in more recently, I'll talk about that in a bit, I've not worn these so much because the risk of me getting pedal strikes on my shins is a lot lower since I've been clipped in. If you're looking for something that's going to give you the ultimate in leg protection, these are recommended by me, definitely. So something I always wear every single ride is a pair of glasses or goggles, but mainly glasses. Now these, a lot of people on Instagram ask me about these specific ones. They are 100% S3 glasses. They're quite expensive, but they are my favorite glasses because they are, I mean, they're absolutely filthy at the moment, but they've got quite a wide aperture and they come quite close to my face there. They run quite close to my face, so the risk of getting like water splatter underneath is minimal. But the other thing with glasses that sometimes I forget is, and when I go out without them, I remember, is when you're riding quite fast, the wind's blowing in your eyes and you start to stream water from your face. It looks like you're crying, but that stops that kind of wind blast in your face and protects your eyes from all the crap, all the trail debris. So 100% S3 glasses, pretty cool. Or goggles. These goggles are loads of different types of goggles I've tried. These ones are Fox. I think they're like 30 quid. They're the most basic ones, but they give decent ventilation. And typically when I'm riding like with the full face helmet, I'll wear a set of the goggles. You can start to feel restricted when you're wearing a full face and goggles, because if you imagine, like right now, I can see this big peripheral side vision. But when you start to put a helmet on and like goggles, you're kind of narrowing it right down to quite a narrow field of view. But it's all about compromise, isn't it? It's about feeling comfortable and safe. And I do feel when I'm like fully kitted up, like super safe, super comfortable. And the goggles are neat because you never get any like mud splatter in them because they've got the spongy bit around, and they just give a slightly wider field of view. No, there's not a lot in it, to be honest with you, but these work a bit better with a full face, because when you at the end of the run, you can just like take it off, whack it on the back or whack it on the top of the helmet, and just stash them there. So that's it for kind of like helmet, face, knees, legs. Now, a couple of other things that I wear, again, all of the time. Check these out. These, I've got 2 pairs of these. I just bought some recently, another pair recently. They're Troy Lee protective like shorts, protective like under shorts. And they've got this hip protection in here on the side, on both sides, and a little bit of protection like inside the leg. And I just wear these, don't wear like any boxers or anything, just put these straight in. They're slightly padded. And the amount of times I've come off and landed on my hip, and these have given a little bit of protection on the side, they're really, I wear these on every single ride now, and that's why I bought a second pair. They just make me feel like if I fall over on my hips, I've got a little bit of added protection and support, and they're really comfortable. Again, you forget that you're wearing them, but they've just got enough armour in the side to take a little impact from a knock. These are Troy Lee 7605. They do run quite big. I normally wear a large, size 34 or 36. I had to get these in a medium. I had to send the large back because they were massive. So if you're around like a 34 size waist, I would say go for the medium, but these are pretty cool. And if you want the ultimate in protection for your body, some kind of body armor. This Lee Airfix, it's like a one piece that you put on and you wear under your jersey. And I have got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this thing. I hate it because it's big and bulky. This one that I've got is actually, I think, aimed at motocross riders. They do a lighter version of it, and I would recommend that one. Now, I actually removed some of the armor from this. It's kind of like lots of foam pieces, really hard foam pieces, glued together, and I started to strip it down to make a more lightweight version, because I found that I barely ever used it because it was so bulky, heavy and hot. But since I've stripped out quite a lot of the armor from it and thinned it down, I'm riding it a lot more. This gives body protection on the chest, on the back, on the shoulders and the elbows, and just a little bit for like your ribs. So when you start adding all of this together, it gives you pretty much total body protection. You don't have to wear it all the time, you can just pick and choose. So if I'm doing something like a bike park day out, I'll wear the full face, I'll wear the body armor and the full kind of leg and shin guards that you saw. But if it's a trail ride, I won't wear hardly any of it other than just the ion knee pads and the pants and like a trail helmet and just a jersey, no like elbow protection. So these are some of the things that I wear, and I do really recommend this stuff. I've tried loads of different stuff and I found that this is the best in terms of like quality. It's lasted quite a long time, and I think that you can never have too much protection. Like, check out this clip of John, the bike pilot. We were at Bike Park Wales and he went fully over the bars. He was wearing one of these bodysuits, just the lighter version, and he said without that, you know, he could have been pretty seriously injured. So it's all about compromise, isn't it? You've got to wear what you think is right for the type of riding that you're doing, and give yourself the best chance. So when you do crash, and you will, because we all crash, it's part of mountain biking, that you are as protected as you can be. So hope that gives you an insight into the stuff I wear. Like I said, it's not sponsored or none of this stuff I've got for free. I've bought it all. And I thoroughly recommend each one of these pieces. And finally, something I found that since I've moved over to clipless pedals or clip pedals, I don't wear those long knee pads anymore because I find the risk of pedal strikes is virtually zero because you're clipped into your bike. So strangely, moving to clipped pedals can give you some safety benefits over not having them. There are risks as well because you're still attached to the bike, so when you crash, the bike kind of comes with you. But I found it safer on my legs having clip pedals because I don't, and a lot of it's down to technique, I know, but I don't crash as much wearing clip pedals. I don't fall off or lose my footing because I'm always strapped to the bike. So something to consider for safety, believe it or not, for me was going to clipped pedals and being always attached to the bike, and then I don't have to run those big kind of shin guards and knee guards. And yeah, I know I need to get better as a rider, but just something that I thought I'd share with you. Okay, I hoped some of this was useful. Let me know what you would recommend if you've got any, particularly like the body armor or like the knee and the, particularly in body armor, because a lot of people are really interested in what you can wear when you're out riding. If you've got any lightweight stuff that is like a full body protector, let me know in the comments. And I hope this video was useful. If you found it useful, subscribe because I bring out weekly electric mountain bike content. And until next time, I'll see you then.